During Trump's visit in the UK, he had a lengthy interview with Piers Morgan and the topic of climate change came up. Let's see how it went.
Really wants, and what he really feels warmly about, is the future. He wants to make sure future generations have climate that is good climate as opposed to a disaster. And I agree. I did mention a couple of things. I did say, well, the United States right now has among the cleanest climates there are based on all statistics, and it's even getting better because I agree with that. I want the best water, the cleanest water, crystal clean, has to be crystal clean.
People want air.
So he is referring to Prince Charles in the beginning of that answer. Prince Charles actually cares about the environment a little bit. So Trump wants to appeal to the royals. So in that answer, he's pretending as if he cares about the environment. Now, as Americans or anyone who's paying attention to the news, we know that he doesn't care about the environment. He has rolled back every environmental protection under the Obama administration. He does not care about clean water. We still have parts of this country that are dealing with lead in their water. Flint is still dealing with unsafe drinking water. He is a complete and utter liar, we know that, but that's my take.
Well, you just saw his solution to the climate issue is just say it's great.
It's great, it's great. We have the best water. It's crystal clean.
We have the most water and the wettest water, and a lot of people say our water is best at math. A lot of people, I hear it a lot. A lot of people, and we have people in our country. Water is pets. They have water for pets. The water's that good.
Yeah, I mean, water is good at math from the standpoint of water.
Yeah, you can't. It's like a dog barking at a cloud. It's just like
I just want a president that makes
find sense in it.
I want a president that makes me feel dumb, right? I don't want a president who makes me feel like I'm smarter than him.
It's not even. It is a question of intellect, but it's also a question of he's handed over his administration to
corporate interests.
All the worst corporate interests too. All the dirtiest corporate interests to dirty energy. He's closed down all the efforts on the part of the federal government to pursue clean energy, incentives economically to pursue clean energy. He has rolled back, as Anna says, the basic air and water protections. I mean, they call it because of regulation. It's such regulation, but they're protections, basic protections for air and water. And so he wants to start offshore oil drilling once again, off the shore of both West and East Coast. He has released basic climate protections and environmental protections from coal businesses so that they can release that slurry into streams close by. I mean, it's disgusting what's happening in this country now. I mean, it's despicable what's happening environmentally. So the idea that he could stand there, and once again, Morgan just lets him tell his lies. But also, as Dana said earlier, I don't know if you said, if you called him out in that moment, if it really would have mattered. The guy just keeps going.
Well,
no, he doesn't care. And the things that you said are all true, and that goes back to the argument that we had at the top of the segment. And if you did anything other than vote against this person, if you did anything other than give your vote to the only possible person who could have defeated this person, you are complicit in what he is doing. When the house is on fire, you don't have an argument over what color fire truck should be allowed to come. I have no patience for people who well, I just couldn't bring myself to vote for. I don't like him, but I couldn't bring myself. Fine, we're done talking.
So let's take a look at more of the dumpster fire that's taking place right now. Here's more from Trump on climate change.
Do you personally believe in climate change?
I believe that there's a change in weather, and I think it changes both ways. Don't forget, it used to be called global warming. That wasn't working. Then it was called climate change. Now it's actually called extreme weather. Because with extreme weather, you can't miss. Look, we have a thing now in tornadoes. I don't remember tornadoes in the US to the extent. But then when you look back, 40 years ago, we had the worst tornado binge that we've ever had. In the 1890s, we had our worst hurricanes. And I would say we've had some very bad hurricanes.
Were you able to?
I can't. The extreme weather is a product of climate change, idiot.
And it's exactly what all scientists and scientific projections and virtually all scientific projections predicted just this thing. They projected more severe weather, colder colds, hotter hots, agricultural belts moving as a result of climate change. That's exactly what's happening.
It's not climate change, it's climate breakdown. The models are breaking
they're
down.
changing the wording again.
Right.
You know,
well, that
first
by the way,
it was
global warming became climate change because of Republican, because of Frank
idiocy.
Luntz.
Right.
Best wig in the business. That they found that it gave people less anxiety, the term climate change. So that became it's not like dad's drunk, dad's silly.
Right.
It just made it easier.
No, that's exactly right. It is global warming. Let's cut the crap. It is global warming. All the effects of global warming we're seeing. But I mean,
I thought the reason why they changed it, and I guess I was wrong, was because some people have such difficulty in differentiating between like climate and temperature that, you know, if there's a cold day, they'll be like, see, there's no climate change. So instead of saying global warming, you focus on climate
Well, people say
change.
there's no global warming because there's a blizzard.
Right.
In the same way that you're out of milk, there's no such thing as cows.
Right.
It's the same thing.
It's so dumb.
I've said, but I just wanted to repeat one thing that I said before.
Sure.
Frank Luntz has the best wig in the business.
Can we
Move over, Dolly Parton.
I want to pull up a picture of Frank Luntz if we can, but while you guys are doing that, let's go to the last clip on this.
Has he moved you a little bit?
I'll tell you what moved me is his passion for future generations. He's really not doing this for him. He's doing this for future generations. He really feels, and this is real. He believes that. He wants to have a world that's good for future generations.
You want that.
And I do too. And that really, isn't he that? You know, he's Prince Charles. He doesn't have to worry about future generations in theory, unless he's a very good person who cares about people. And that's what impressed me maybe the most, his love for this world.
God, he really wants the royals to like him. It's amazing.
But the beautiful thing in that is he is a textbook clinical malignant narcissist. And what he was basically saying was he was astonished that he thought about other people. He doesn't need to think about other people, but he does. That's exactly what he just said.
Yeah, he said future generations. I mean, I can't imagine that. In other words, he's not thinking about himself.
He doesn't need to think about other people, but he does.
He could be a terrible person like me who doesn't care about anyone except for himself.
But yeah, but he doesn't. You know, in Trump's defense, he doesn't see other people. The concept of other people does not take form in his brain. He has a personality disorder. You know, he really is, by textbook definition, not well. It's not that he doesn't care about people. The concept of caring about people is foreign to him.
But he seems to be able to care about some people. I mean, he seems to have an affinity for dictators.
He has an affinity for people that mirror his ideal of himself. That's why he loves his
daughter.
Children. Yeah, the people that mirror himself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah. Well, I don't want to give him any credit.
The other thing,
but I see what
there's
you're
Frank
saying.
Luntz for you, the GOP
Look at it.
pollster.
Wow.
Look at it. Can we go in on the netting?
That actually is a good wig.
That is a good wig.
I didn't know it was a wig.
Really? You can't see that?
I mean, I don't think I've ever looked at him long enough to notice.
That is
to
a
be
little
honest.
thing I like to call the Shatner 5000. When you can't see where the hair goes into the scalp,
Right.
let that be your guide.
All right, great.
See?
Great
Can you show me
observation.
where? Can you show me where? No, you can't.
I guess it's a bad wig.
Yeah.
All right.
Not outside of Dollywood. Yeah, that's the giveaway.
I just feel like you should rock your natural situation.
On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.